Many schools rely on tools such as planners, checklists, behavior charts, or pull-out interventions to address executive functioning difficulties. Why do these approaches often fail to produce meaningful generalization across settings?
Those approaches are incomplete. So if you look at something like a checklist, the reason that you and I, for example, might know how to use a checklist is because we can think about what we need in order to complete a certain task and think to yourself, oh, wow, this task has a whole bunch of different steps. I'm not going to be able to hold all of this information in my brain. I better write it down because I'm not going to remember to do, X, Y, Z or whatever the steps are. And then in order to think about what you need to put on that list, you have to be able to do some visualization about what your end goal is. Maybe you have to think back on something that you did yesterday and think, oh, I need to write that down. So that very act of knowing that you need to use a strategy such as a list is executive functioning. You need to be engaging your executive functioning to use a list effectively. So it's not that a list is bad. It's just that it goes with the teaching of executive functioning. A list alone isn't an executive functioning strategy. So it goes with it, but we have to understand that saying, like, just give somebody a list and you're teaching executive functioning, that's not really how it works. So you do need to do the teaching of that strategy. And a lot of times the way that people use lists is that they do the executive functioning for the student. So they write everything down on the list and give it to the student. Well, you just did the whole process for them. So that's part of where the disconnect happens. And I could say the same thing, the social skills groups, and that again is more of a service delivery model issue, where if you think about this group that you have with students as the complete package, well, it's not that is a bad idea to meet with a group of students and work on something that they're struggling with socially. It's that if you see that as the be all end all, you're not going to get that generalization. You have to reframe how we look at it and think about it maybe more as an opportunity to prepare for something, knowing that there's going to be other pieces of that intervention rather than thinking about it as the complete package. So it's more of a reframing rather than these things don't work. So it's just shifting how we think about leveraging those tools.